Scorching Waves, version 1.14.2.10. Alright. So this is a season 20 balance patch, which is very much needed. But yeah, let's look into the Pokemon one by one. So Trevenant. So Wood Hammer damage nerf, cooldown nerfed by 0.5 seconds, and then curse damage is nerfed. Trevenant is still good as a tank. It's just that if you want to play Trevenant as a top laner or just as a damage carry, I think Trevenant is not as good as before. So it also affects solo queue. It's not just affecting tournament, but also affects solo queue. What I mean is that it's not about the damage on Wood Hammer. No, it's just that the curse damage makes it unfiable. I think to be a brawler kind of Pokemon and like to do damage. Wood Hammer, Horn Leech is still good because of CC. Curse Horn Leech I think is impacted a lot, but Curse Pain Split I think is still good. Yeah, I think Curse Pain Split is still good. Like you want to play around the fact that you want to brawl at the enemy, and like Curse and Pain Split just works together so well. Alright, Hoopa. I think yeah, people find something as like useful, they gonna abuse it, right? Like Zacian Comfey was one of it. Like they probably think like Zacian is like, yeah, no, not on Zacian part. Comfey, yeah, it's boring. It's not that strong. It needs a buff. And then like comes Zacian is just like, yeah, like you think Comfey is a fair and balanced Pokemon? No. It is not, especially with a very strong carry like Zacian around. So yeah, I think this is also the same case of Comfey. To be honest, I feel like Trick and Phantom Force is a very good. It is much better compared to Comfey in general, because Trick and Phantom Force is like, yeah, it only targets one player, and the players need to use the healing themselves, right? So it's a good nerf, I think. But yeah, it's still like Hoopa is still Hoopa. Hyperspace Hole is still good. The Unite is still good. Leafeon. The high damage from Solar Blade made Leafeon one of the best Pokemon for securing last hit and picking up KOs, leading to early game dominance. Yeah, this is the thing. Early game dominance. This is the most important thing about Leafeon, early game dominance. So Chlorophyll got nerfed a bit. Damage got nerfed a lot. I think like 13% to 10% is actually it's 9%. 13% to 9% is quite high, especially that we knowing that the scaling is quite high as well, right? So it's really a very big nerf. I think Leafeon, however, is still good because Razor Leaf is still there. Like you can play Razor Leaf and Aerial Ace or Razor Leaf and Leaf Blade. But the thing is that bottom lane Leafeon is. I don't think bottom lane Leafeon is viable anymore. The 13% damage probably is not will not make Leafeon viable as a bottom lane attacker. Although I feel like it's still good enough, right? It's still good enough in a sense that like the damage is still very high, I think. So we will probably need to see where it's going to be good or not. Mr. Mime, nah, I don't think the healing is good, but like 22%. Like I made the calculation. Now it's like it's like instead of 40 heals per tick, now it's like 50 heals per tick. Like, is it good? I think it's good in the sense that any buff on Mr. Mime is pretty much appreciated, but it's just that I don't think it's good enough. But you can definitely use Mr. Mime as a secondary healer or something. Like having a multiple heal is not bad, and also like movement speed increase, damage increase from power swap. I think it's still good. And yeah, you can actually play a tanky brawler Mr. Mime with power swap now. Considering that you heal yourself and you use power swap as well. So yeah, I feel like it's a good thing. But again, like power swap weakness is that you cannot follow your team if they are diving. Right, for example, if they're a diver like Zoroark, I think it's not a good Pokemon. This is also why Zoroark and Comfey is like a better combo compared to Mr. Mime. But yeah, T-Tar. I think it's just that T-Tar is not really about tanking damage. It's just that the Unite into Phantom into Soul Edge was too strong, right? Unite into Phantom into Soul Edge is just too strong. I don't know whether the damage on the Stone Edge will be enough, but I think the damage on the Unite is going to be enough. I don't think damage reduction is really important on this Pokemon. It's still like it dealt too much damage. Right, it dealt too much damage that the damage reduction was not even necessary in the first place. Like someone did like an 8k damage on the substitute doll in like a range of like 2 seconds because how fast the Phantom and Stone Edge are. In competitive, T-Tar is not really popular. Even if it's picked, it's kinda have the problem of that T-Tar is just like slow. It's too slow. Now I don't think T-Tar is good in competitive like after this. But yeah, like in solo queue, I think it will have an impact. Scizor Scyther. Why did they nerf this? It's 20% decreased damage on ult. I'm taking it as a T-Tar ult. I think it's enough. I think it's gonna be enough. It's gonna impact a lot. Like T-Tar is a Pokemon that relies a lot on the Unite. Like even if the Stone Edge and stuffs are there, I think you really rely on Unite. Without the Unite, you're kinda It's just kinda like Charizard. Without Unite, Charizard is kinda Miraidon. Damage dealt by Electro Drift was too high for a move that is difficult to avoid. What do you mean that's difficult to avoid? Actually, yeah, it's kinda difficult to avoid. The charge version, like the third Electro Drift is so hard to dodge. So like you need a certain move set, a certain like playstyle to actually dodge the Electro Drift. So yeah, I think like it's a good nerf. But the problem is that it's still an EX Pokemon. If they want to nerf Electro Drift, they should be nerfing the cooldown. So people need to hit their Electro Drift 3 times, and then like even if they miss once, then yeah, it's over already. You need to wait until you can hit like 3 times already, 3 times again. Anyway, Blaziken. This is good. This is a very strong buff. Cooldown buff is good. Any cooldown buff, any cooldown nerf is good. Cooldown is king. Cooldown is just so good. And like this is actually very good as well. I feel like this is a very good buff. Like people still need to change their move, right? And especially like this cooldown buff will make it so much easier to chain consecutive attacks for the Blaze ability to work. Now, Slowbro. Now, this is a tinfoil hat moment. I feel like Teamy is doing something like this, right? Teamy, or just like Pokemon Unite, probably has like lots of what's it called again? Lots of holowares ready, right? Holowares ready, but they don't really put the holoware into the game data. They put the holoware into the game data once they know that, oh yeah, we need to buff this Pokemon. Because it's so weird. It's so weird if you say that this is a holoware buff, right? Because the meta right now in Japan, I feel like the meta right now in Japan is mostly like they play like all-rounder bottom, right? They either play all-rounder bottom or they just play like something that is like, yeah, mostly like physical Pokemon. Like there's so many physical Pokemon that is meta right now. Like that's one of it. And the second thing is that it's just that people are playing Speedster Jungler, and like yeah, the top lane is also a physical Pokemon. And it's also good, like if you play Slowbro, it's good to just like you put Slowbro there, you can probably counter the enemy team, the whole enemy team, just by doing a Scald. Like 60% decrease is no joke. 60% decrease of attack is no joke. But But if you still don't play Scott, you can still use Surf, and the cooldown buff is too strong. Like 1 second is like a big deal. Even if it's just 1 second. Yeah, even if it's just 1 second, it's a big deal. And I feel like it's going to be very good. Anyway, continuing. Mimikyu. I think. Yeah, the problem with Mimikyu is that because it plays like Speed Surge instead of All-Rounder, it's just like it's not as tanky, right? It doesn't have that tankiness of an All-Rounder. It's just like it's so weird that they make it into a All-Rounder instead of Speed Surge. Anyway, but anyway, this thing here, right? Shadow Claw healing 20% increase. I think it's very good. It's very strong. This thing you play rough. The cooldown buff is stupid. I feel like the cooldown is going to be strong. The cooldown like 8 seconds before minute like before level 11 is too strong already. Like yeah, I think it's a very good Pokemon now. I mean it was already a good Pokemon, but now it's a stronger Pokemon. And it's going to be more annoying to deal with. Venusaur, compared to Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb seems to underperform. The move's effect have been buffed generally. I think even if you buff Sludge Bomb, Venusaur, Solar Beam Venusaur has a very big problem. First, you need level 7 for it to work. I mean, you need level 7 for it to like do something. And it's not like the Decidueye, to be honest. I'm going to be extremely fair. It's not like the Decidueye. The Decidueye you can snipe 3 times, right? You have like 3 charges, so it's completely different than Giga Drain. Not Giga Drain, than Solar Beam. Because if you use Solar Beam, you only have 1 chance. If you miss, you don't deal damage, right? Meanwhile, if you use Spirit Shackle, you have 3 chance. Meanwhile, you use Sludge Bomb, right? You need to use Sludge Bomb to help with your Solar Beam. But the problem again, like instead of Solar Beam, instead of Sludge Bomb, I think Giga Drain still performs better. Because you want to be tanky, right? You want to stay alive. So yeah, I feel like it's just like I don't think this is enough. This is going to be enough, but like the special defense reduction and also like the poison damage, I think it's going to be enough. But yeah, I feel like this is not going to be very useful. Next is Absol. Pursue damage from front, 22% increase. This is too strong. This is just downright too strong. No change to the damage dealt from behind. Yeah, this is just too strong. I think Absol is good now. Psycho Cut as well. Damage increase, something. I think it's still so good. Yeah, I think it's just too good. I feel like it's just like yeah. I'm scared of Absol already. The worst thing about Absol is that the damage is too high with the crit. If you get lucky, you just nuke the enemy and then the enemy is dead. That's the problem of Absol. The problem of going up against Absol. So I'm not sure whether this is going to be like a... I feel like this is gonna change the meta again. Absol is gonna be good now. Although the problem is that all-rounders are very... there are a lot of all-rounders out there, so I feel like yeah, it will not change that much, like the balance of all thing. Alright, Garchomp. Despite being a Pokemon that require high level to evolve, its impact on the game even after evolution was insufficient. I mean, this is the problem with Garchomp, right? I'm not going to read the balance patch first. This is the problem with Garchomp is that Garchomp is very, the problem with Garchomp is very simple, right? The problem with Garchomp is very simple. Garchomp is a berserker kind of character, a berserker kind of Pokemon. Berserker typically wants to keep hitting the enemy, but Garchomp has a very bad like even if you 1v1 enemy, sometimes Garchomp can still get out damage. That's the problem with Garchomp. Like typically, right? Typically, if you want Garchomp to succeed, you need to make Garchomp able to go 1v1 against Zacian, right? Able to 1v1 against the Zacian. However, the Zacian Right, the Zacian, the only thing that makes Zacian better in the situation should be that Zacian can run away anytime he wants. Wait, Zacian is a girl, right? Zacian is a female, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Zacian needs to be able to run whenever they want. Right, that's a big deal. That's the thing that needs to, like, you need to make Garchomp like that. You can 1v1 a Zacian, but the Zacian can still run away from you. So the Zacian, if the Zacian got caught, then it's gone, right? So a good engagement from Garchomp is necessary. But this is also a good way. Like, Dragon Rush cooldown buff is also a good way. Specifically because the Dragon Rush is an engage move, right? You want to engage with Dragon Rush and you want to catch people off guard by Dragon Rush. So I feel like it's a good move. I mean, it's a good update. Yeah, it's a good buff. I don't know about Earthquake and Dig. Probably it's just like if you want to have a slower buff kind of thing, and not a slower buff, like more like a slower playstyle. I guess Earthquake Dig is also good. Like, you can damage people more effectively, but yeah, I feel like it's just not the way that I want it to be. But I think it's going to be solid enough with the Dragon Rush buff. Lastly, Duraludon. Yeah, lastly Duraludon. So I have this. This is someone did a comparison. I don't know whether it's like, I think it should be the same, right? Someone made the comparison. So this is before the nerf. This is exactly before the nerf, and this is after the nerf. So before the nerf, it's cleared like in 12 seconds, but after the nerf, it's cleared in like solo, right? Solo, like 21 seconds. So it's a very big nerf, I think. Yeah, it's a very big nerf. But anyway, basic attack speed reduced, the thingy as well, the enhanced attack, the boosted attack is also like nerfed. Max with capped at 500, which makes it very bad at ripping objective now. But a flash cannon, when the move is used, attack speed increased by 100%, gradually returning to normal for 5 seconds. Enhance attack additional damage, so this is going to be like 3% instead of 6%. But yeah, I feel it still feels kind of weak. Dragon Pulse, damage when slightly charged something. Oh, but this is actually good against like no, it's still nerf. It's still a big nerf. Stealth yeah, the thing about this Pokemon now is that Stealth Rock is too broken. I feel like Stealth Rock is broken. You plan the Stealth Rocks, people walk into it, you get stunned, right? Before, you need like 4 ticks of damage before you get rooted, but now you only need to take like 2 ticks of damage and then you're rooted already. So it's a very strong buff, I think. Unite move, Revolving Ruin. Now knocks back the opponent Pokemon at the end of the move. I think this is a very good one. Again, if you want to run Stealth Rock, I think like you don't even need you don't even need to run the Dragon Pulse with the Unite. Yeah, damage from the beam 30% increase, but continuous damage from the Film Trail is 15% increase because you push the enemy. Enemy is like, yeah, enemy can still need an option to like, how should I engage his Pokemon? So it's a fair balance, I think. It's just like, yeah. Okay, biggest winner, I think it's Slowbro. First of all, Slowbro is good. Mimikyu is also very strong now. Blaziken. So the loser here is T-Tar and Leafeon. No, Leafeon is still good. It's just that, yeah, the Solar Blade is just like, I don't know, the Solar Blade is not that good anymore. You kinda need to place the thingy, Razor Leaf now. And like Trick is actually very good. Trick was good, but yeah, now it's gone as well. Sad shame.